Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man. As always, I thank you for coming to my channel. This is going to be a video. I guess it's going to be twofold. It's going to talk about two things, put them together. And I've told you guys about the paranormal stuff going on in this house from day one. And I'm going to be really getting out of here. I should be out of here by the 1st of January, if not sooner. Because I'm not bringing in the new year in this house. And I've posted and documented a lot of stuff. And this one here was kind of like, actually, when my mother's pictures, God rest her soul, disappeared, I was done then. I was like, okay, it's time to get the blank up out of here. You know, because there's some things you can't replace. And you can't put a money value on them. You know, so just been a series of stuff happening in this house. And the last incident, which happened about 4 days ago, I was like, okay, I got to move up, step up my efforts of getting up out of here. And before I go into what happened, I just want to say this. As a result of that, I'm going to be selling a lot of my music equipment because I don't need all this stuff now. You know, I'm trying to scale down. And I'm going to, for the next about week or so and a half, I'm going to be posting videos with me selling guitars, selling some basses, some other musical equipment, you know, and I'm going to give you guys a good deal because whenever I post something, I don't post junk because I don't have junk. When something shows up and it's junk, it goes back. I'm not going to home sell it to somebody else upon it. No, if it doesn't meet my criteria, it goes back. You know, so everything in my setup is right. You know, the guitars with great action. They sound good as you hear on these videos that I post of me playing these instruments. You know, so it's time to scale down, a major scale down, where I get up out of here. You know, so be on the lookout for these sales on the guitars, basses, some other things, drum machines. So this is the reason why I'm getting up out of here as soon as I can. I have a camera. It's a Canon EO3 or something like this. And this camera was brand new. It was like $2,000. And I spent about $1,200 on it when I bought it because I was doing some short films. So I had put it up on my dresser. And right under my dresser was a little nightstand or you know, my bills that I written out on. I've had my cat for 3 years. 3 years too long. Because originally I found her in the bushes and my plan was to find her a home. Unfortunately, when the pandemic hit, it just didn't happen. But me and my wife take good care of her. So I had my camera on my dresser, sitting on one of my digital recorders. And I came in the next day and my damn camera was on the floor. Initially, I was about to strangle my cat because I was like, ain't nobody else here but you that would do this. Because I know my wife didn't do it. She was asleep. So I thought about it. I said, I don't believe the cat did it because the cat never got up there, never tried to attempt to get up there. And if she did, she would have jumped on the little table first, jumped up to the dresser. So I said, I don't believe it was her. And after further inspection, I was quite sure it wasn't her because the camera was sitting on my dresser. And this snaps off. Let's snap this off. Okay, let me get this off so I can give you guys the illustration. Come on now. Okay. Okay, so it screws off. Because this is the lens. You can put different lenses on there. This is the body. So, camera was on the floor. The lens somehow miraculously screwed itself off and stayed on the dresser. So the lens is sitting on the dresser. Camera is on the floor. I'm like, how the hell did that happen? It was locked because this thing locks in like you just seen me unlock it. It took me a minute to do it. And I'm like, what are the chances of the camera unlocking itself, spans off, stays on the dresser, even with the momentum of the camera going in this direction, hit the floor, it stays there, and the camera on the floor. I'm like, something took the lens off, because the lens didn't even look like it had moved off or close to falling off the dresser. Something took the lens off and tossed the camera. I'm 100% sure, because there's no way that this would have unlodged itself from the camera. You know, if it was going to fall, the whole thing was going to fall, because this thing locks. I mean, you got to push a button and then turn it and unlock it. So I'm like, I know damn well that it didn't do this by itself. My wife was still in there asleep. And I'm quite sure that the cat didn't do it. I'm like, okay, we done here. We getting the blank up out of here. You know, because I can't just dismiss all of this stuff that's happening to say, well, you know, just it did itself. This was proof of it. I'm like, no, this thing locks. Anybody that had these kind of cameras into photography know damn well that you have to physically push that button and then twist it to get this lens off. Because if it was just the cat knocking stuff off, this whole thing would have been on the floor. The entire thing, it would have never, even when it hit the floor, the lens would have not came loose, because you got to push this button. You know, so I'm like, okay, I'm getting out of here. I'm sick of this. And I've been having a lot of issues with my computers and electronic stuff, because I did a little reading up on the paranormal, and electricity fields tend to interrupt or disrupt things, you know, because again, I'm sitting here and PC don't want to come back on, or the internet falling off, or just a lot of stuff. I'm like, I can't ignore or dismiss all of this stuff. You know, it's not every blue moon something that's, you know, got me my head scratching. It's regularly. I told you about the footsteps I heard in the hallway used to. And I got up and said, it's my wife going to the bathroom. And if she did, the room that I'm in is adjacent to the bathroom. I would have heard her go in there and close the door. I would have heard the toilet flush. Then I would have heard the door open back up. Then she'd go back to the bedroom. I didn't hear any of that. I just heard footsteps. You know? And I go out there, investigate, nobody. You know, stuff missing. Yeah, stuff missing, it just disappears. I'm like, I don't live in a mansion that I got 20 rooms, or maybe it's in one of these 20 rooms. No. And I'm real meticulous when it comes to my stuff being organized. I put stuff where I put stuff. Then when I go back to get stuff that I put stuff, gone. And never resurface. It's not a thing that I'm accidentally misplacing it because I'm in a hurry to do something, and then later I find, oh, there it is. It never resurfaced. Never. You know, so that's the reason why I'm going to be having that sale. You know, a whole lot of good stuff, great prices, because when it comes to me selling you guys stuff, it's in mint condition. Action is great. You can compare all day long if you want to, and I encourage you to. You're not going to find what I'm selling you for the value that I'm selling you. You know, everybody on eBay, Reverb's just ridiculous. You know, they want 2, 3, 4 times the amount of what they want. I have a drum machine. It's a drum modular, and it's dynamite. The Kawaii XD5, I believe. It's extremely rare to find now. And you go to Reverb, they want it $1,600. I'm selling mine for $4. Which one you want to buy? You know. And I won't say most of it. All the stuff I really don't want to sell. Everything I have now, I'm happy with. It's not that I'm just not. I ain't vabbing it no more, and I just don't use it. Everything that I got right now, I don't want to sell none of it. But you know, I got to get out of here. And a lot of this stuff I just don't play anymore. You know, it's just sitting here, and somebody else should be enjoying this and learning on this and growing on this. You know, because I remember each time I got a new bass, I was ecstatic. You know, and you know, within 2-3 days, I done wrote 3 songs, and the bass line was what originated the song, because I just got something new, and something new excited me to the point where it inspired me. You know, but I'm going to sign off now. So I just thought I'd give you guys a heads up about that. About the next week and a half, a lot of good stuff is going to be sold. You know, so be prepared for that. And the reason why I'm getting out of here, you know, I'm getting out of here because Like I told you, this was the last straw. I was extremely pissed when I came into that room and my $1,500 camera on the floor and the lens is still up on the dresser when it should have fell with the camera. You know, I can understand if it fell with the camera, hit the floor, and for some reason the lens popped off, which again, it screws and locks in. So I'm like, this thing ain't going nowhere unless a hand or something unscrews it and unlock it. You know, it's not going to come loose because it took a tumble or it hit the ground. None of that. I know something took the lens off. I'm 100% sure of that. Because again, I told you the cat had done it. And the cat has never tried to jump up on that dresser. Never. You know, so I'm sick of this shit, man. I mean, I'm sick of this. You know? So until next time, take care and thanks for watching.